Hello, ladies and gentlemen out there in Radio Land. This is Those Muckrakers coming to you live once again through the power of the internet. I'm Pat.
Pete.
And this is episode 104. And apparently this is the cusp of the apocalypse because everything in America is getting canceled and everything's shutting down and all crowds are being ordered to disperse except for public schools for some reason. Like, is this the zombie apocalypse, Peter?
No, I don't think it's a zombie apocalypse. I think it's the Second Great Depression.
Waiting to happen. That's going to be fun. Like, I'm excited to see just like how bad things get when the depression really kicks in. Because right now they just injected what, 1.6 trillion into the stock market.
It was a crazy number, and just nobody's talking about it. Yeah, the stock
we can't afford healthcare, but we can give the rich more money. But go on.
Yeah, the stock market is like, it's up, it's down 1,000 points, it's back up, it's down. Like, it's going so crazy right now with the coronavirus that to keep it from crashing, the Fed just injected something like $1.5 trillion or something crazy, a huge amount of money into the stock market. Here's the thing, and maybe I'm wrong, but like teaching the 1929 stock market collapse, they kind of did the same thing. Like, people were like, the market's falling apart. And they seem so dumb and quaint because this guy just showed up with a bunch of money, like this rich guy. They go, he's injecting money, we'll all be fine. And then the stock market rallied for a day and then fucking fell the fuck out. And it kind of feels like the same thing we're doing. You can't just inject money in the stock market. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, like money with no foundation is just what the definition of a bubble is, right? Like there's no strong foundation. There's just going to burst. People are going to play hot potato and just try to be like not the guy holding the potato when everything crashes. Then they'll be the one with the worthless stock.
And exacerbating it, the president just enacted a travel ban from like certain European countries, which doesn't do anything when the disease is already in your country and already spreading.
Yeah, what he is doing is trying to look like he's doing something, which is good optics for stupid people. But for anyone that knows anything, this is just like him being an asshole or him trying to play leader. He's a shyster. He's a con artist. His entire life, he's just tried to lie his way out of problems. And this time his lies could very well fuck over millions of people in America. Like, the death rate is already about 1 in 20, right? Like, it's gone from 2% to 3.6%.
So it keeps going up. So I heard that, like, it's less than the common flu, and then it's at 1%, and then somebody going 1% is way higher than the common flu, and then I saw the death rate is like 3.4%.
The common flu's death rate is like 0.02%. It's really, really tiny. Like, almost no one dies from the flu. The flu is an inconvenience at best.
So the death rate keeps climbing, number one. And number two, we're getting different information about it, which makes me deeply suspicious because they keep going, it's fine. Here are some people that survived the flu. And then I'll read, like, Italy just had 200 people die from the coronavirus in one day.
Yep.
Compared against the entire population of Italy, that's not a lot. But were those healthy people? Were those old people? Did it hit a nursing home? Like,
healthy old people.
Did the bus driver catch it while driving through a crowd? You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting a lot of information. And then China's like, oh, we're fine now. Our deaths are going down. And I'm like, China, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, the problem with China is that they're like Trump in that they don't care so much what the truth is. They just want to tell people what will be best for China. And Trump just tells people what would be best for Trump.
Well, China can make the truth and large groups of people disappear. So I definitely don't trust them. If their infection rates are going down, it's only because they're shooting everybody that sneezes.
Yep. And
you know what I mean? Like if you sneeze in China, you're just getting drone striked. Like, that's the only way I can imagine that they would deal with it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that things are about to get much, much worse in America. For one thing, people that study pandemics are saying that in about 10 days, the hospitals are going to begin to get flooded with patients. So, yeah, the bottom's about to fall out because the incubation period of the coronavirus is like 2 to 14 days. So at the longest, a lot of people are all going to get sick at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen in about 10 days, and then we're going to see hospitals flood up. And in response to that, all cities everywhere, especially like here in where I'm at, the Walmart, it looks like worse than hurricane weather, worse than pre-hurricane weather. Like, everything is sold out, especially
there's already a
toilet
run
paper.
On toilet paper, which doesn't make any sense.
All the toilet paper's gone. All the Purell's gone. Hold on. Let me write. I need to write paper towels down on my grocery list while I'm thinking about it.
But here's the thing. They're not taking cleaning supplies. Like, I would be in there getting bleach and fucking gloves.
Yeah, I mean, it's because people don't actually want to do anything about the problem. They just want to wipe their ass and put goop on their hands. I hate Purell. Like, am I the only one? I don't like it. It leaves my hand feeling like foamy. I would just rather wash my hands.
I like bleach because it's the only thing besides pure alcohol I'm certain will kill everything.
Yeah. I was about to say boiling water, but boiling water doesn't kill everything.
Yeah, but boiling alcohol will.
Mayhap.
Yeah, no, people are dumb, and we're woefully underprepared for this. And I'm actually interested. I think so. We talked about, you were saying like, what's the plan? Honestly, I think the plan is to kind of do what the government has done since Trump was elected, and just
Hope the problem goes away.
go down to the Winchester and wait till this all blows over.
Yeah, like Mitch McConnell's just going to pull himself inside his shell and wait it out. Like, he can do that. Turtles can go a long time without emerging to eat.
But it's interesting because I do think that the bigger danger is not so much the virus, but an unstable stock market, because this is going to kick off, if not a recession, because remember, the recession could have easily led us into a Great Depression. Luckily, Obama and the people in government were able
smart.
to, the smart to bail us out, but we don't have that. We don't have the luxury of that this time.
Yeah,
So,
only people that are loyal to Trump are left, whether they're smart or stupid. And if you're going to pledge fealty to this monster, odds are you're probably a moron who's just, like, grasping for power and money.
yeah,
While the grasping's good.
my bigger fear of all this is that he will use this to cancel the election and just stay in power indefinitely.
I
Not
mean,
that because someone advanced that that's their design, and I go, no, this isn't like a the government's conspiracy. The government made this up. No, I just wonder if he'll be smart enough to try to take advantage of the outbreak to not have to run in an election.
You know what really happened was that the coronavirus was about to go away, and then it saw Joe Biden on TV, and it was like, no, I think I'm going to stick around through
But
April.
the other thing about it is the other news that's really interesting is people around Trump keep showing up positive with the virus. To the point where like some Brazilians and with President Bolsonaro from Brazil were hanging out
Yep.
at Mar-a-Lago, and they're positive for it. A congressman that might have had contact with somebody flew on Air Force. So this guy, this psycho president that's a germaphobe, is basically surrounded by the virus that he's not doing anything to stop.
He refuses to get tested for it, too.
Which is
Like-
fine. There was a great Onion article that said Trump says he will get tested after he's had time to study for the test.
Yep. So here on this
Fuck him, let him-
podcast,
I don't want him to get tested. I want him to just keep trucking along until it's too late.
yeah. I mean, he is old. He's unhealthy. His diet is shit. He should have had a heart attack a long time ago, but God loves a dictator, so he just keeps trumping along. But
Yeah.
here on this podcast, we do not threaten sitting government officials.
I'm not threatening. I'm just
but-
making a wish.
that-
If I wish
that's
upon
why,
a star.
That's why if we're not going to say if we get coronavirus, we'll go down there and shake his hand or anything. Because for one thing, that would be
scared.
gross.
He's actually scared of that happening. He thinks that like liberals will intentionally try to infect him. And I'm like, but it's a bunch of dumb conservatives that already have it because you don't believe in science.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, but while we wouldn't directly threaten him, we will like cross our fingers and hope that like someone with corona sneezes in his face, because that would be hilarious.
Well, I mean, that's already happening. Like, they're already hanging out with him at Mar-a-Lago. Like, if it is as transmittable as people say it is, there's a very good chance that he's got it and does not know it.
Yep.
Also,
'Cause-
there was a supercut today of his dumb, weird address or whatever he made to the nation. It was a supercut of all his weird breathing.
I hate it when they do that because it's super gross hearing him just like snort. See, I don't want to hear him breathing. I'd prefer for him to not breathe anymore.
His breathing is the grossest part of his speaking.
Yeah, I mean, grosser than his weird orange face. But
I don't
like,
know if he
I was
can-
like,
Can he just not breathe through his nose, and that's why he's got to just like
no,
Ugh.
people say that it's because he's on Adderall before he gives speeches, and that's why he's like so out of it when he does it. But he's like sniffling because he snorts it.
That's weird. Why would you snort Adderall? Why would you snort Adderall? But I mean, that would make sense how he's able to go on for these fucking psychotic speeches.
Yeah, but I was leaving a place, and his speech was on the TV, and the person I was with was like, "Oh, is Trump talking about the virus?" I'm like, I literally don't care about a word that he has to say because all he does is lie. So everything
Also-
he has to say is pointless. All he's gonna do is talk about how we won big in 2016. No one thought we could do it, but it's like, and this is his coronavirus speech. Yeah, let's leave.
There's only one person I want to hear, or there's someone I want to hear from even less than Trump about the coronavirus, and I'll tell you about this because I'm so tired of hearing this.
Yeah.
And that's every, how do I describe it? Every company that I have any business with have been sending me emails about the coronavirus. Like, we here at Capital One Bank want you to know that we've got your safety in mind. I don't care, Capital One. Like, unless you're giving me extra money, fuck you. Like, we here at Spotify want you to know that we're thinking of you in these coronavirus. Like, really?
Coronavirus
Like,
times.
why am I getting emails from fucking my bank about the coronavirus?
Mm-hmm.
We want to
That
let
is
you
how
know
it
that you
is.
can get money anytime from any of our ATMs. Yeah, that's the point of an ATM. Fuck off.
Yep.
So do we want to get into a Dear Wesley?
I was wondering if we had like anything else to say about the coronavirus. Did we talk about Iran digging giant body ditches?
I read somewhere that Iran's digging giant plague pits the size of football fields. So I don't know what's the real news anymore.
Fake news, folks. Disaster. Biggie.
I mean, because the problem is Iran's government's pretty shady on admitting stuff anyway. Like when they shot down that fucking Ukrainian airliner and then was like, it wasn't us. Okay, it was us, but it wasn't us.
We covered, China's reducing, or saying that there's reduced rates. Yeah. Okay, let's get on to the Dear Wesleys. Like, I think we are exhausted about Corona news. Look, everyone out there, we're all going to die. It's the end of the world, and the stock market's going to crash and just make matters worse. You're going to be eating your shoes as your last meal while you suffocate to death with your family members, all of you sharing upper respiratory
I would like
illness.
to say that, like, New York has gone dark. Like, New York is like, Broadway's shut down. They're banning gatherings of more than 500 people. The NBA, by the way, canceled all games forever.
Yep.
But
Stephen Colbert's no longer, and other late night hosts are no longer going to have audiences whenever they film. They're all just going to be like dead live shows.
how about fucking public school? New York City public schools still trucking along, brother.
Yep. So Pete
I
still
still-
has to go to work.
I still have to go to work, you sons of bitches.
Like every other school in the nation is going to all online classes for the foreseeable future.
Not us, man. Fuck them. Because they're like, there's a bunch of weird stuff too. They're like, how will children get food? And I'm like, fight in the street for it. I don't care. Papa wants a day off. Like, I guess
Yep.
it's really bad. There are really poor kids that basically depend on public schools to live. But also, I'd like a day off.
All right, let's get on to the Dear Wesleys.
Dear Wesley, am I an asshole for not letting a pregnant woman cut me in line for the men's bathroom? This is definitely a Wesley. Dear Wesley, I ate something that really didn't agree with me last night, and I've been having digestion issues all last night and this morning. Half an hour ago, I needed to go to the bathroom, so I went. My job has a men's and a women's bathroom like most places. I don't know what the women's is like, but the men's only has one stall. I go in there, and a guy is in it, so I wait. And just as he's getting out, an obviously pregnant woman throws the door open and tries to push past me into the stall. At this point, I'd been waiting to go for a decent while, and I didn't know how long I was going to be able to wait. Additionally, it's pretty annoying that she just ran in, didn't knock or warn anybody, and just assumed she could use the stall. I couldn't just sprint into the women's bathroom with no consequences. So I said I was next and went in before her. She yelled, well, not quite yelled, it was like the volume level below. She had to go, so I said go to the women's. She said it was full, and so I said, sorry, but there's nothing I can do. I did my business and heard her leave. I probably took 5 to 7 minutes, not too long. Well, she told some of my coworkers, and now they're all up on me about being rude to a pregnant woman and selfishly not letting her have the bathroom. I've explained my digestive problem, but they say I could have waited and let her go. I might have been able to wait. I don't know. Wesley, am I the asshole?
No, because she was rude and presumptuous. Like, I do believe in if someone has a great need, you should, help. Well, okay. You know what? Nobody deserves to be treated nicely. I'm going to say that offhand. No one is entitled to be treated well by anyone around them. But personally, I would always try to do the nice thing for others.
I disagree
but
with you.
If they're
I think
but if they're
everyone-
being an asshole, then I don't know.
I
I'd be less
vehemently
inclined.
disagree with you, Pat. And this is this is the only time I disagree with you in the opposite direction. I think everybody deserves basic niceness. Like
Maybe.
I think everyone should attempt to be civil with each other in a difficult situation.
I'm flashing back to like an old Dear Wesley where it was a black woman on her own property was asked by her white neighbors like if they could use her pool or the white neighbors asked if they could use her pool or something, and she was rude to them, and so they called the police on her. And one of the arguments was that no one deserves to not be treated rude. Like, just because they're there doesn't mean that she has to treat them nice. But then she had the police called on her because she wasn't.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess no one owes you niceness, but I think we should all try to be, like...
Yeah, like, that's my own moral standing, is that I will always try and be nice, but no one's entitled to be treated nice.
But the thing is, like, I understand, and I have mixed feelings about pregnant women, because we all came from a pregnant woman at some point, and so it's got to be tough, and I get that. But I don't like the... this is gonna make sound terrible. If we ever get letters, it'll be for this. I don't like pregnant hero worship.
I guess there's that. I don't know. To me, it was that she assumed that her emergency was greater than his emergency, and
well, my problem with her
she just
is
felt
that,
entitled to being able to use the
restroom.
restroom.
The entitlement. So my problem was she didn't go, listen, sir, I'm very sorry. I'm very pregnant, and I am going to poop myself / have a toilet baby, whatever. Just let the guy know, be like, I'm so sorry, can I please, you know what I mean? Like, instead of just rushing in and expecting because you're pregnant that, like, oh, this guy, like, and he's right. If he had busted into the men's bathroom and pushed a pregnant lady out of the way and goes, I got a shit, I had Taco Bell, nobody would be like, I can't believe she didn't let him go. You know what I mean?
What was a man doing in the woman's bathroom?
Why didn't she go in the woman's bathroom and be like, get out, I have to go? Like, tough shit, lady. Yeah, I think her sin was just pushing in and being shitty. And also, fuck his coworkers, man. Like I said, you don't get...
They all automatically took her side. And that's where the pregnant worship comes in, like you're talking about.
Yeah, and this is where I'm going to sound terrible. And I know that my lovely girlfriend is going to hear this. And we're going to have a fight over this. But you're not special because you're pregnant. People get pregnant all the time. Fuck you and your baby. Fuck you and your unborn baby. Like, your baby's going to be fucking rude, you bitch.
I mean, people have gotten pregnant at least 7 billion times in recent history.
Yeah,
so.
it's the most common thing in the world. But yes, pregnancy is hard, and we should try to help those with child. But also, you don't get to just shove somebody out of the way and run into a bathroom. You got to talk. You got to ask.
If one of y'all is about to shit yourselves, well, he was in line first,
right.
So I don't
even
know
if it's even if it's, sir, I'm going to poop in my pants. You got to tell him that, you know.
The other day, I was in Walmart waiting in line, and it was a very long line. And, like, I think I had 4 items in my buggy, but, like, one of the self-checkouts was closed, and there's only one normal line. And so everyone's just in this massive queue. And I'm getting there. I'm finally getting to where I'm the next one to go in. And this lady rolls up to me with her buggy, and she's like, excuse me, could I just get in line? I've only got 2 items. And, I was about to just tell her yes because I buckle easy. But this old guy behind me who looks like someone from Grumpy Old Men just, steps out in front of me and tells her, I've only got 1 item. And he just walks on in there. And so while he's distracting her, I quickly scoot on and run to a thing before she can ask me again.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. I was in the post office like that one time. We're all waiting, and this lady just comes in and looks at the line, exasperated, and goes, I just have one thing to mail. Can I just... And I like the post office lady, what she said. She just goes, sure, the line starts right there. Shut her the fuck down. Because, bitch, how do you know what I have to mail? Why is your package more important than mine?
Because it's hers, and everyone's the star of their own story.
Yeah, I guess. But, no, I don't think that guy's fucking... you didn't let a pregnant woman in front of you. Well, genetically, he shouldn't have let her in front of him. That's not his kid. Why would he want someone else's seed to prosper?
Yeah, I mean,
hey, man, via evolution, he should have tripped the bitch. I'm just saying.
Like he should treat her as rudely as she treated him. It's like she just assumed that it was okay for her to cut in line. Maybe he should assume that it's okay to suplex her. Like
only my seed will win.
But my children will defeat yours. Get them, and he calls in his teenager to run kick her.
Yeah. No. Try to be nice. Be nice to pregnant women and old people. But also, you don't get to be rude just because you're pregnant, I think is my point.
Oh my God, I just realized Wesley's answer.
What's Wesley's answer?
Oh, well, see, here's what you do is you got to tell her that in life you got to compromise. Now, you want to use this one stall, right? Oh, and I want to use the one stall. So what we're going to do is neither of us are going to use the one stall, and we're going to walk over here and take a shit in the urinals. And that way there's 2 urinals, and both of us are taking a shit as equals next to each other. So let's drop towel and take a shit in the urinal. Drink a big old deuce next to the number 2 pot. Oh.
That seems like something Wesley would do. Although I thought Wesley would be more spiteful.
Wesley's not spiteful.
He's in situations like this. And you believe a pregnant woman pushed me out of the way? Just like
So what I did was I waited until she got into the stall, and then I took a great big shit in front of it. So when she got out of the stall, she slipped in it and fell right back into her own shit.
And then I called everyone and said, "Look, this lady shit on herself. Let's laugh at her." So I like to think this next year, Wesley, is a follow-up to the first one.
So our listeners can decide if they want to believe in nice Wesley or spiteful Wesley.
I call it Dark Wesley.
Bizarro Wesley.
So, dear Wesley, am I an asshole for telling my coworker that nobody would care if he died?
I mean, it depends. Would anyone care?
Oh, I feel like this would be my response to the pregnant lady. I'd be like, no one would care if you died.
No.
So, dear Wesley, I work in an office of about 100 and have a team of about 30. I have a coworker, Mark, who's about 55. I don't think he's a very nice person. He's always making snide comments about other coworkers, hates poor people, and thinks that if you're poor, it's purely because you're an idiot. He makes derogatory jokes about women and anyone non-white. Lots of people try to keep their distance, and it
Sounds
seems
like
he's...
a conservative.
Yeah, it seems he's generally disliked. Seems like he should be fired, because all these things seem like an HR nightmare.
Yeah.
Management doesn't do anything no matter how many times coworkers complain about his behavior, and they have. Presumably because he works very long hours without asking for extra pay, because, as he admits, he has, quote, nothing better to do. He is single, no kids, and has said openly he doesn't really have friends, just work colleagues and some family. I would feel sorry for him if he wasn't nasty to people. Another coworker, Sarah, lost her mom to cancer about 2 months ago. Now, I'm not close to Sarah, but everyone knows it was a really horrible ordeal, and she's sometimes visibly upset in the office. When Sarah was visibly upset yesterday, Mark said, "Jesus, she needs to get over it. Everyone dies. She's bringing everyone down. She needs to be professional. It's pathetic." That sounds like something we'd say on our podcast, Pat.
Yeah.
It was said in a very harsh way. I don't think Mark intended Sarah to hear it, but she did. She got upset and left the office. I was sick of Mark's terrible comments, and I said, "For God's sake, you're such a dick. You're just bitter. Nobody will give a shit when you die." I walked away before he could respond. We've been angrily avoiding each other since. I assume Sarah knows what I said because it's the office gossip right now, but I don't know her opinion, though I know Mark is pissed. Other coworkers are split. Some think Mark got what he deserves. Others said that what I said was one of the worst things anyone can say, especially as it is likely true because he's generally alone in life and has nobody close to him. Dear Wesley, am I the asshole?
Nah, he sounds like something he needs to hear. He just needs to be made aware that he's such an insufferable asshole that either he changes his ways or he will be Ebenezer Scrooge, where death points at his tombstone and there's nobody there to mourn him.
Normally, I think telling a coworker nobody would mourn you if you died is pretty bad, but I think if you're standing up for the downtrodden, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're standing up for someone whose fucking parent died and this person's like, "Geez, you need to get over it." Like, yeah, then I think it's okay for someone to go, "Well, if you died, nobody'd give a shit." Like, I think that's fair play.
Right, so it sounds like this guy's playing the role of the ghost of Christmas future. Like, he's just telling him, is like, in this current path in life, you are not going to be mourned.
Because by not telling Mark that he is a piece of human excrement, no one's doing him any favors.
Right, they're just enabling his assholishness to continue. Like,
Yeah.
he's certainly not entitled to friends like this guy, and he's certainly not entitled to mourners, and he's not going to get them either.
I also like how he's a misogynist, he's a racist, he thinks that poor people are stupid. Like, man, this guy's definitely he's
Trump
55.
voter.
He's definitely a boomer, yeah. Stupid poor people.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah, but like, fucking, oh man, I can't imagine making, and I guess I've made shitty remarks in the past when someone's like, "And I lost my grandfather, and it was happening," and I don't know, I'm just like, isn't that what old people do? Like, your grandparents die, right? That's their job. Just kind of mean, but I generally don't go around to people's faces and go, "Your death, your loss means nothing."
Your loss is meaningless to me. I feel nothing.
For you, it was the most significant day of your life when you lost your mother. For me, M. Bison, It was a Tuesday.
Yep. Do you feel anything at all when I tell you my grandpa died? I don't know. Do you feel anything at all when you throw away your trash?
Fucking yeah. So what would Wesley's advice be?
Jesus. I think Wesley would be like too busy eating pizza bread in the corner to notice this guy's even talking. He's just completely ignoring him, just shutting him out. And like after that, he'd walk over to Karen or whoever's person died and be like, "Oh, I brought you a donut. Would you like one?" And then she would cheer up some.
That's true. That's true.
That
the
would
nicest,
be Wesley.
That's the nicest Wesley reaction we've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Fucking, I'm still mad about the pregnant lady just shoving her way into the bathroom.
Yep.
I have a big problem with people that cut lines. I'm real weird about that. There's a lot of European people. Well, there were before the virus. Not so many anymore. There are a lot of European people that come to New York, and I swear to God, when Europeans come to New York, they all act like they've never seen a line before. And I'm like, I know you got lines in Europe. You guys made the Jews stand in them during that whole World War II thing. So don't fucking. We're gonna get so many letters. Don't fucking pretend like you don't know what a line is.
This is the Send Us Letters episode.
Send us letters. Well, everyone's gonna be dead from coronavirus anyway. So does it really matter?
Not really. I mean, by the time people get around to sending us letters, we're gonna be like ghosted out on the Appalachian Trail somewhere.
I like how the first thing
way
you
away
said
from civilization.
before we started, you're like, all right, we'll talk about the coronavirus, but let's not talk about our escape plan of getting onto the Appalachian Trail and just hiking and avoiding human contact. And then you're like, so by the way, find us hiking through the backwoods.
All we ever do on this show is like break our own rules.
That's
like,
true.
We set rules just so we have like a to-do list.
Breaking all the rules.
Breaking all the rules. That's us.
Well, Pat, you got any notes? I know it's kind of a short one, but that's pretty much all the notes I've got.
Yeah, literally all I had was just about the coronavirus. Let's see what it says, actually, because it's from 2 weeks ago. Let's see how hopeful I was. Okay, Corona. The White House is actively making things much worse with the coronavirus. They're not only not helping, they're hurting. White House officials overruled health officials who wanted to recommend that elderly and physically fragile Americans avoid flying on commercial airlines because of the new coronavirus. They're trying to pretend it doesn't exist to help Trump get reelected. They're going to kill so many people this way. That's all I've written down for this week.
Yeah.
Which is actually like 2 weeks because this is the day before our podcast tomorrow. So,
yeah. So you'll see what happens. We'll try to bring you some more news, maybe with some notes tomorrow. But yeah, so far so good. Just wash your hands and try to stock up on medicine. I guess is the best advice I can give you.
Yep. All right, so hopefully next week or tomorrow, whenever we record our next podcast, we'll have more stuff. If not, I mean, maybe we're just doing shorter podcasts now. It took us a while just to get back into doing things.
I just can't wait till the podcast is just one of us because the other one died of the coronavirus.
God, fingers crossed it'll be me because then I won't need any sort of anxiety meds. It would just be, the sweet 1 in 20 lottery I would win.
And then I have to carry on, and then I have to do all the editing myself too. God damn it.
Yep. It'd be easier if it's just one sound file though. All you got to do is clip off the start and the finish and add the music. Oh, you don't have a copy of the music, do you?
I don't have anything.
I'll try and get you that before I die.
All right. Well, that's all I got for today. I don't know. I guess my advice would be get the virus early so that way you can get in the hospital and get a good spot.
Yeah. You do not want to be stuck in a queue because those fucking Europeans will show up and cut in line.
Bastards.